Wife Material Podcast, Episode 4, Marriage Doesn't Take Independence Away. Most women, from what I've seen on the internet, at least, been vocal about the idea of treating, being a wife, being married as slavery. Not just that, they even go as far as treating just being in a relationship, or even just being in an association with a man as a form of slavery. The idea of I don't want to be controlled. And it's like, okay, well, that definitely sounds like daddy issues right there. Among other issues, the whole idea of not wanting to be controlled when we have rules in society, we have laws, we have things that control, what we can and can't do. We don't have full control of our finances, for example. When you go to work, you don't decide that we have laws, we have rules and stuff that you have to follow so that way you don't make mistakes, right? You don't do what has already been proven to be wrong. There's a reason why we have these rules and laws, just like when you live with your parents, they have rules, of what to do, what not to do, for a reason, for your benefit. A lot of people like to think, especially women nowadays, like to think that rules are a problem. The thing I notice that happens the most that I see is the idea that women hate the idea of being told no. And that's where this whole idea of, men oppress us. Being the men that says no, because you don't feel oppressed when a man is saying yes to everything. Whenever you want something and they say yes, you don't feel oppressed then. But when they tell you no, suddenly you feel oppressed. That sounds like a 5-year-old girl problem, where she wants daddy to get her a pony and he says no, she's oppressed. So, I'm starting to hear that from women, and the older, women, right? Women nowadays, older women acting the same way, acting like man telling you no is being oppressed. When a man says no, he doesn't like the idea of you having a girls' night out or being somewhere where there's going to be a whole bunch of dudes, for example, or just be in a situation where you're so far away from your man that could present a problem, because what, God forbid, something was to happen to you, your man is nowhere near to assist you. And he's your first line of defense as a woman. He's your first line of defense. He's the one you expect to come to your rescue when you're actually in a dangerous situation. For you to deliberately try to be as far away from your man as possible, well, whatever happens, you brought that upon yourself for being so far away. You want to be as close to it. It's almost like muting turning your phone off so your significant other, your man, can't check up on you, right? To send you a text, just to see if you'll respond. If you don't respond, then maybe there's something wrong. If you respond, okay, you're good, and continue doing what you're doing. Stuff like that. Like, I'm a caring person, you know what I mean? I check on the females in my family, from time to time. I'll send them something like a cat video or something I know they like. I'll send it to them randomly just to check on them. That's me checking on them. If they respond with a emoji or something, or they send me something back, cool. That lets me know they're good. I mean, if they hit me back up, we're like, oh my God, my life is, is upside down. I have all these issues. Okay, thank God, right, that I checked on you. See how important, how useful I am? I checked on you. So things like that, matters. That's why it's an issue for, I have no problem with a female, right, wanting to hang out with her female friends. I'd rather she hangs out with her female friends than her guy friends. Thing is that there's a high possibility, especially depending on the situation, that if she's trying to hang out with her female friends, I'll put it this way, I'll say it, without my level of security, I'd rather my girl brings her friends over to our house where there's security, where where it should be safer, and then hang out. Y'all can hang out at the crib. I'm not going to be there. That should be a good thing, right? I'm not going to be there, so I might as well use it as a place to hang out. Why do y'all got to go somewhere else, far away from home, from safety. Your home is should be your safest place, right? Should be your safety zone, right? Your fortress of solitude. You know, that's why it's weird, the idea of wanting to go far away from home, from safety, from familiarity. You know, unless you make sure that you have some form of security. I don't like the idea of a female going somewhere where, God forbid, some terrorist attack happens. Somebody with a gun just starts coming and starts shooting, and I'm unable to help because I'm not there at all. You know, that's the kind of stuff that I think. Most guys think that. The other scenario, we think, oh, okay, she's going somewhere where I'm not at. Well, clearly, because if I'm there, I would cramp her style, and her style is she's trying to replace me, or she's just trying to entertain another guy. But of course, me being there will be a problem, right? So these are the three things that typically would happen with a scenario like that. But this is not about that specifically. It's just the idea that if I was against the idea of you going out somewhere without male supervision, actually security is the way I look at it, but you get my point, without some opposite gender around. I mean, I feel more comfortable if you had like some gay guys, right, to go with you, then I feel a little bit more safer. Like, not me feel safe, but I'll feel you're safer because there's at least a male there. Even if he prefers males, that's cool. He's a male. He still has the physical capabilities to defend you if need be. And hopefully he does. If he doesn't, it's like, all right, well then that was that didn't work out. My main point is that I want to be able to make sure that there's people around you that I can trust. You know, so that's my point. That's the way I look at it. That's my viewpoint. Other people will have their viewpoint of that situation, of the whole girls' night out thing. You know, how they see it. But for me, I would have a problem with it for safety purposes. If you try to find another guy, replace me, cheat on me, whatever, I'm not gonna make a big deal. But I could care less because to me, you're making the mistake, not the other way. You're cheating on yourself. You're not cheating on me. Because I know for a fact that I benefit you in being an association. I benefit you just being a friend. I benefit you being a family member. You know, if I'm referring to members of the family, I'm a benefit to the people around me. Is what I'm saying. I'm a benefit to friends, associates, whatever. If you know me, you're benefiting from my presence, from my association. That's what I'm saying. But that's why if a woman wants to be in a situation where it's like, oh, you want to replace me? All right, fine. But replacement better be better. You know, that's all I care about. Is like, if you find better, all right, then you found better. But from my experience and from what I've seen from other people's experiences, what other people went through, it's usually not better. It's usually worse. But hey, like I said, you're not cheating me. You're cheating yourself because you're more likely downgrading, not upgrading. If you upgrade, I got nothing against that. I respect that because at least you chose better. You made a better decision, right? When you make bad decisions, like, not interested in that. Just like I try not to associate and be in relationship with women that typically make bad decisions. You know, when I get to know them and I'm like, oh, okay, in your past you made a lot of bad decisions, and now you're making even more bad decisions. Yeah, this relationship is not going to last that long because you have a pattern of making bad decisions. I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody who keeps making bad decisions. I'm a problem solver, not a problem maker. I definitely don't want somebody creating problems for me to solve. That's ridiculous. I'm trying to reduce the amount of problems and drama and so forth, right, around me, not add to it. Definitely not add to it when I already went through the issue. When I went through the process of getting rid of the bullshit in my life, I don't want to just automatically bring more bullshit just by being in association or in a relationship with somebody. That's an important detail for me. A woman being attractive, important. A woman being nice, super important. A woman that ain't about drama, doesn't make bad decisions, and definitely doesn't try to argue with me all the time, which is a bad decision. Well, you know the consequences for that. To the streets. So marriage does not take away your independence, because your independence can't be taken away, right? A lot of times, women, I know, try to make it seem like if they get married and they stop working, stuff like that, they lose their independence. But it's like, not really losing your independence per se, because your independence was more so just you were doing something so you can afford stuff. If now you're in a position where you don't have to work to have stuff, you can just have it for free. You're not giving up, anything, right? Your independence is always there. You're actually just saving your independence. You're not getting rid of it. You're not losing your independence. You're saving it. There's a difference. You're saving your independence. Another thing I notice is, why don't these women that, have careers and this, that, they're right, and talking about being independent and getting their bag and stuff like that, which I'm not against, get that money. If you can get it, get it. But why ain't you saving it, though? Why ain't you investing, stacking? Why ain't you making it grow to the point where you have so much money you don't need to work no more? Then go be with a man and spend his money. I'm not against that. I'm all about plan B, right? Not that plan B, but like I'm all for having a backup plan. I'm all for the idea, because I've been supporting the idea that women should find ways to make money, so they can have money and save money and stack it, right? If they're like in a relationship or even in a marriage, and God forbid the marriage doesn't work out, at least you have that backup plan. At least you have money for yourself for when you're no longer in the relationship. Don't be in a situation where it's like all you do is spend money. You never save any money, and the way you get money is from the man. But if you keep spending it, of course, if the relationship ends, well, that means no more money from him. And since you didn't save any, you didn't invest any, you didn't do anything to make extra money while you were in the relationship, well, of course, you're going to end up in a bad financial situation. Typically, back in the day, right? Now, women just out there, making that money easily, through different avenues. And it's like, that's great. It's great that you can easily make money, so you can afford, the 12, 20, 30, or 100 pairs of shoes. I'd rather you spend your money getting, buying that stuff that's unnecessary than you spending my hard-earned money to buy that stuff unnecessary. I'd rather buy you stuff. I'd rather buy you what you need, not what you want. What you want, use your money. What you need, I got you. You need food, I got you. You need a roof over your head, I got you. So forth and so forth, right? You need private security because you're going to be traveling. You want to be safe, I got you. Obviously. But if you just want to buy a whole bunch of Beanie Babies on a daily basis, I hope you got you, because I'm not wasting money on Beanie Babies on a daily basis. That's ridiculous. But hey, I mean, everybody has their hobbies and whatnot. I'm not against it. I'm just saying, if you have a hobby, you pay for your hobby, just like I pay for my hobbies, right? Fair is fair. I'm all for making that money. I definitely support a woman getting her bag, right? If you can get it. But don't weaponize it. Don't be like, oh, I make money, therefore I'm gonna be an asshole to you. Like, no. Because even though I make money, I'm always trying to, I'm always being nice, because that's just who I am. Being nice is just who I am, right? Can I be an asshole? Yes, of course. But that's only if somebody's an asshole to me. But on average, I'm nice. I'm a giving person, I'm the type of person, if I got $20 in my pocket, it's like, I give it away, like, here, somebody take the 20, and, hopefully they have a good day because of it. I know I'm having a good day because I had the $20 to give away, right? So I know I'm good. So let me make it where somebody else can be good too. And that's the type of person I am. So of course, I want to be in a relationship with a woman that wants that kindness, that appreciates, not tries to take advantage or abuse me, take my kindness as a weakness. No, who appreciates my kindness, appreciates my generosity, and and returns it, returns it back, right? By being nice. Very important to understand what I'm saying when I say stuff, that kind of stuff. But I'm getting a little off topic, talking about myself. But marriage does not take away your independence. It just allows you to save your independence for when you really need it. But if you're in a relationship and the relationship is good and you're the one who has to put in the most effort to make the relationship good, because a guy can be in a shitty relationship and he'll still keep that relationship for years. Usually because he can afford to be in a shitty relationship for a long, long time. Women usually can't afford to be in a relationship for a long, long time. You know, in a shitty relationship for a long, long time, which is why it's always, even guys will advise you, if it's not working, end it sooner than later. Don't stay in a relationship for too long that you are not really going to go the long haul. Relationships only last because of women, not because of men. Men will, relationships will last forever. A man will be in a relationship with 12 women and have it last until the day he dies. He'll be dedicated to that, to having those relationships until the day he dies. Women are not the same. Women change things periodically. They change their hair, their clothes. Literally, their men, their relationships, perhaps, their friends, and so forth and so forth. Right? They always want new things. They want new things more often than guys do. Guys are good with the same old thing over and over and over again for long periods of time. We do get tired eventually. We do get bored, and eventually we want something new. But it takes time for us to want something new. For women, every day you gotta be something new, something different. Can't eat at the same place every day. Gotta eat somewhere different, and this and that, and the list goes on and on. And we understand because their decisions are governed by emotions. So if today they feel like McDonald's, then it's McDonald's. If tomorrow they feel like a 5-star restaurant, it's a 5-star restaurant. If they feel like, you know, going to another country to eat a meal, then that's how they feel, right? And again, it's based off of their feelings, not logic, because it's not logical to travel halfway around the world to eat lunch. You could just stay where you at and eat lunch. It's not like there's not food around you to eat. There should be food around you. You better make sure you have a month or more worth of food in the house, right? So why do you have to travel around the world to eat? But hey, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. You know what I mean? Understand it. I mean, I like the idea of traveling around the world to eat. That'd be kind of cool. But I also know I'm the one who has to pay for it, so that's going to be a little bit of a problem. If I could afford it, damn right, I'm traveling around the world and eating lunch in different places around the world. Yeah, because I can afford it, right? But if I can't, then I can't. I accept that. Most women won't accept that. For them, it's not a no. You got to find a way to make it happen. Like, damn, I'm not a genie, but men are usually treated like they are. They have to make all these women's wish come true, right? The women they're with, if they wish for something, men are supposed to make it happen. And of course, we will try. We will try. Sometimes trying is not even enough. But anyway, that's for a different conversation. But marriage definitely does not take away a woman's independence, because men never saw themselves as independent in the first place. Any man who would consider himself independent will be a single man, a bachelor. You know, a guy, money, you know, living the good life, being with multiple different women, you know, every day or week or whatever. And, you know, if that's the life he wants to live, that's the life he wants to live. But that just means he's not going to have no kids. He's not going to have a family, this and that, third. And it's like, and if he's okay with it, he's okay with it, right? But here's the thing. He's only messing with single women, right? He's only messing with women that also don't want you know, kids, marriage, long-term stuff. The thing I see that happens a lot is that more women want that lifestyle more than being in a relationship. You know, they rather be single but get the benefits of marriage or a relationship than to actually be in a relationship. It's like, no, you want the benefits, you got to do it. It's like expecting a paycheck from a 9-to-5 job, right? But never go to work, but still expect a paycheck. It's like, no, if you don't put in your week or 2 weeks worth of, you know, work, you don't get a check. You got to earn the check. But most women nowadays think they can, you know, get the benefits of being a girlfriend without, you know, fully being a girlfriend, because they still want to be single. Right? It's like, no, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't be single and be in a relationship. That's a contradiction. The idea of being in a relationship, the idea of being single is that you're not in a relationship. When you're in a relationship, clearly you're not single. That's the whole point. But women want to be able to try to do both. And they think they can do both. And it's like, no, yes, you can't, because it doesn't work that way. Plus, it shouldn't work that way. And, of course, men are, going to bring back the criteria that we used to have, where it's like, yeah, you want my money and time and resource and my attention, you got to earn it. We have a term for it now, it's simping, where you are giving women your time and money and attention, and you're not even in a relationship. That's wrong. You're feeding them when they didn't even earn it. You're feeding them when they're not even hungry. That's even worse. When they already got money and attention and whatnot, but you want to give them more money and attention. That don't make no sense. You look for a woman that's hungry, then give her money and attention, right? Because she's in a position where it's beneficial to her for you to give her money and attention, right? And then she'll obviously be appreciative. She should be appreciative and return favor, right? By being nice to you, at least. It'd be wrong to eat on your dime and to spend your time, your actual time you could have spent doing anything you want in your life. Instead, you're stopping. You're not spending time doing what you want to do, and you're spending time with her, but she doesn't appreciate it. It's like, that's not right. You're not entitled to his time. You got to earn his time. You got to earn his money. You're not entitled to his money for free. You're not entitled to his time for free. But women nowadays are so used to getting free attention and money, especially through the internet. It's like, hey, if you can get it, get it. You know what I mean? Let these fools keep, giving you money and attention for free. But these are fools. These are not men. This is not the standard of how men are supposed to do things and how men are. This is the lower class of men. So that's why it's important to know the difference. But like I was already saying with the marriage thing, how it doesn't take away your independence, it just allows you to save it for a rainy day, as it were. An unfortunate rainy day, but still have it. Your independence should be your backup plan. It shouldn't be plan A. It shouldn't be different. And like I said before, it's like, don't weaponize it. Don't use your independence as an excuse to be an asshole to somebody. If a man is willing to be in a relationship with you, that's a blessing, not a curse. That is a gift from God, not a punishment. And it's sad to see women behave like being in a relationship with a man is a bad thing. Like it's a punishment. Like they did something wrong, that's why they're in a relationship. Like, no. Relationships are good. And if you make sure it's good, then it will be good. But if you don't properly treat the relationship properly, and you use it as, you treat a relationship like it's an accessory, like a keychain or something, like something you just, it just looks cute, so you grab the relationship, right? You got into a relationship because it looks cute, but that's about it. You really have no real, you're not going to put no effort into the relationship. You just like having it, And I was in maybe 2 relationships where that was the case, where it just felt like, yeah, I'll put it this way: I was a trophy boyfriend. That's it. I just looked good on her arms, right? I just looked good to be with her, because I was obviously desirable. Other women show me attention as well. She's just the one that I gave more of my attention to. So she get to win, right? She got me, but she didn't appreciate me. She just was happy that she was able to get what all these other women want. But of course, that's unfortunate. It's like, damn, that's unfortunate. You don't value me as much as you should. You only value the fact that you got what these other women didn't get. Well, of course, we all know how that ended, right? That wasn't going to be permanent. It's like, oh no, I'm going to go right back to being available for whoever wants to get me, who, actually wants me. Not just because they like the idea of me, or like the idea of having me so someone else doesn't have me. you know, that kind of thing. I've even been saying where girls will, not females, right, would ignore me, you know, and just act like I'm, you know, I'm a background character, right? It's like, all right, cool, you know, all right, do me. But then once one female shows me attention, suddenly all the females that didn't pay attention to me before now paying attention to me. Now I become the main character, right? Like now I matter. Now I'm important. Oh, because now I belong to somebody. So now you want me because I'm now a desirable thing to have. Like that's a little weird, but you know, it's what I'm used to. I'm used to that. You know, I gotten used to being ignored by women for a long period of time until one pays attention to me, and then they all pay attention to me. You know, the funny irony is the fact that all the ones that are now paying attention to me, well, I use the fact that they didn't pay attention to me before, that they were assholes to me before. Like if they did interact with me at some point in time, you know, I use that against them. It's like, you know, back then you didn't want me. Now I'm hot, you're all on me type concept, right? It's like, oh, okay, you like me now. Well, too bad. You had your chance back then, and you blew it. I'm not gonna give you a second chance because I know why you want me now, and that's not unacceptable. You should have want me when you had the chance. Don't want me later, because now I have options. Now I get to choose. See, before it was just, you know, I was available, so whoever wanted me could have me. But then, when somebody did finally grab me, right, scoop me up, now I have all these options. It's like, well, I get to choose now. I get to choose who I want to return the niceness, right? Some females probably just didn't notice me just because they didn't notice me. That's fair enough. I'm not saying that every female was being an asshole to me, but the ones who definitely was an asshole to me, like deliberately an asshole to me, and I didn't, and clearly I didn't deserve it. But hey, if they want to be an asshole to me, they want to be an asshole to me. Well, there's consequences for that. You know, what goes around comes around. So if you're an asshole to me, well, don't expect me to be nice to you later on. The ones who weren't assholes to me, I give them the benefit of the doubt, right? I give them the benefit of the doubt that, you know, maybe they were shy, or, you know, maybe they were just waiting for the opportunity. That they want to be the first, right? They don't want to be the first girl to approach me or something like that. You know, that is a thing that happens sometimes. Sometimes a woman doesn't want to be the first, especially if she gets rejected. You know, she'd rather wait, let other women approach me, and if I shut them down real quick, then she'll compare herself to them and see what her chances are, which I understand. It's a smart tactic. I like, you know, tactics. So it's a smart strategy. I get it. So I mean, I don't blame her. I would do the same thing. I would use the same tactic. I would let other guys hit on a female first that I have interest in and see what happens. If she entertains them real quick and she's entertaining them all, it's like, okay, not for me. Keep it moving. But if she's shutting them down one by one, then I will measure myself to the guys and see why they were failing. Why she was shutting them down, to see if I have a shot or not. You know, just common sense. Well, to me, it's common sense anyway. But yeah, marriage, you know, it used to be an awesome thing. But the thing is that, you know, because of divorce and, you know, the legal stuff of divorce made marriage less appealing, mainly for men, because financially marriage is bad for men. Marriage is never financially bad for women, especially women who have no money. Marriage is awesome. Women who have money, unless you are like, you know, like Beyonce or Halle Berry or something like that, right? If you're at that level of finance and you make way more and you're way more known than the man you're with, then yeah, that, you know, marriage can be more problematic for who who in the relationship makes the most. But on average, I'll say 90% of marriages, the man is the main breadwinner. The man is the one with the highest finance in the relationship. So yes, marriage that ends in divorce, specifically divorce, it's not good for men. Marriage that never ends in divorce, it just, lasts for a long time and death do you part type scenario. Obviously, those are usually the best case scenario. I'd rather be in a scenario where, I die of old age, whatnot, and from there, whatever happens to my finances and resources and money and stuff like that, I don't care because I'm dead, right? But it's when I'm alive and, significant other wants to leave me. It's like, but you want to leave me and take about 90% of all that I've obtained in life. Yeah, that's not right. Because I always thought about marriage and how I would financially make sure that if the marriage doesn't last and it does end in divorce, that I will do my best to take care of her financially, especially if we have kids and stuff. Definitely should have kids, but you get the idea, and whatnot. But not to the point where I am I'm financially ruined, right? I'll make sure she's good, but she's back on the market as it is, right? She regained her independence after the divorce, so she needs to start doing independent things, not still be dependent on me when she doesn't even want to be with me anymore. If she still wants my money, still wants to live off of my resources, then she should still be with me. She shouldn't, it makes no sense to benefit from me and not be with me, right? It makes no sense to still get a paycheck from a job that you quit years ago. That makes no sense. If it doesn't work that way, right, you can't still get a check from a job you quit years ago. Why do you think you can still get a check from a marriage or a relationship that you left years ago? Right? That don't make no sense. But in society, we're allowing that nonsense. But whatever. That's for another conversation about marriage and divorce and all that stuff. But we're talking about just getting into a marriage in the first place does not take away independence. It's not like once you no longer in the marriage, your independence is permanently gone. You can never be independent again. It's like, no, you could always go back to being independent, And the thing is, you shouldn't want to be independent anyway, Because one, I was trying to say this earlier, is that guys are not trying to be independent unless they want to be, but that's not common. It's not common for a guy to want to be alone for the rest of his life, to be independent for the rest of his life. A guy thrives his happiness from what he can do for others, for being a provider for a woman, children, friends, family, community, tribe, whatever, company, whatever, he's involved in. He, thrives his happiness, his purpose in life for providing, for doing things for others. That's where his happiness comes from. So it would never make sense that a man wants to be independent. If a man wants to be independent, he's usually selfish, self-centered, thinks he's God's gift to women or God's gift to earth or whatever. He considers himself to be. He doesn't consider himself an asset to society. He considers himself above society. That would be the typical, guy that ain't marriage material, right? He'll want to be independent from the norm, right? But realistically, I'll say 95% of men want to be in a relationship because that's our purpose. Our purpose is to be in a relationship. Our purpose is to interact and associate with as many women as possible because we're designed literally through biology for that, to interact with as many women as possible. Especially when it comes to keeping the human race alive. The way you keep the human race alive is to make more humans. You can't make more humans by watching Pornhub videos and being alone, if you know what I mean. You gotta get in a relationship. You gotta find a woman or women's and keep the human race alive. That's the most important thing for me. If people want to be single, that is fine. Just make sure that y'all at least consider trying to keep the human race alive. It's fine if y'all want to do the whole baby mama, baby daddy thing where y'all not together, y'all just living y'all single life, but y'all do have a kid together, and y'all at least take care of the kid, right? Take turns and responsibilities for raising the child, so that way the child can be the next generation. And if the child wants to have, wife and kids scenario, great. They don't, and they want to do the single thing, all right, so be it. But at least let it be their choice, right? Don't, because again, if you want to choose to be in a relationship, in a scenario where you're not in a monogamous relationship, you want to be in a relationship that's not monogamous, all right, that's fine. That's between you and your significant other. But ultimately, the best case scenario is to be in a long-term relationship, especially if you're going to have kids. Y'all got to be there for the kids long-term. At least be there for the kids until they're 18 and older. Then separate. Then go your separate ways and live your single lives again. Y'all don't gotta, grandma and grandpa don't gotta stay together. Grandma and grandpa can YOLO, right? Can have hot grandma, grandpa summer, whatever you want to call it. They don't have to stay together. They already did their part. They already was there, that's how grandma and grandpa, I meant to say mom and dad don't have to stay together forever. But yeah, you get it. Grandma and grandpa, the same thing. But you get the point is they don't have to stay together once the children are adults. The thing is, when they're still children, yeah, you should do your best to at least be in the children's lives so they're 18 and older, or try to do that. Try to stay in their lives, whether it's in a permanent, relationship type thing. But after that, after the kids are old, if you don't want to live together no more, wake up in the same bed no more, hey, to each their own. Not saying get divorced or anything like that. What I'm saying is y'all can still be married and go your separate ways. That's if you got married. And that would be another video about the whole your goal should be for marriage, or at least for an arrangement where it is best suited for the children, best suited for children. Don't have kids when you're not ready. It's unfortunate that in society we have too many women specifically, because they're the ones who get pregnant, ending up in situations where they're alone, doing stuff that doesn't benefit anybody. Definitely doesn't benefit the child, doesn't benefit the woman that got pregnant, doesn't benefit the guy who got her pregnant, right? And in general, ultimately, does not benefit society. Having a child in society, having a not so favorable life or future because of the circumstances of their existence, right? They didn't choose to be born in a single mother household, right? They would prefer a mommy-daddy situation. They definitely would prefer a mommy-daddy good finance situation. They don't want to be in a mommy-daddy poor situation, right, where money is tough, right? Money is hard to come by, and they definitely don't want to be in a in a single parent home, whether it be single father or single mother, because there are single fathers, of course. But more often than not, it tends to be more single mother than fathers. It's rare when it's a father, when there's a single father. And the mother's not in the children's, life, or they have the custody. It's usually the mother that has the custody of the child, so that's where it typically is, more often than not, the single mother. And we all know women are the ones who choose and allow men into their vagina. Therefore, if there's a lot of single mothers out there, well, guess common sense tells you who is responsible, and gender-wise, who's responsible for that happening more often than not. Women want to blame men, but we all know it's really you. You're the first one in this situation. The first equation started with you. If you got pregnant by the wrong guy, oh, that's what happens when you are with the wrong guy. You should have chosen better. The thing is, you made a bad decision, and you have to own up to it. You made a bad decision. You have to accept the consequences of the bad decision. You can't act like that you didn't make a mistake. You didn't make a bad decision. You got to own up to the fact you made a bad decision, and you have to deal with the consequences of that. In society nowadays, we're trying to encourage the idea that you're not responsible for it. or at least you're not largely responsible. They want to pass off most of the responsibility towards a different direction to try to justify that the decision was made. You know, like, for example, if I walked into the if I wasn't paying attention, I had headphones on and I immediately started running into the street because I was trying to cross the street real quick, but I wasn't paying attention to the fact that the light wasn't green for me to cross. Somebody else, somebody was driving, and then I get hit by the car, right? Not like hit in a super bad way, but hit enough because the person clearly tried to stop from hitting me with the car, but it still hit me enough that it's like, oh shit, I got hit by a car because I was running across the street, and I realized, oh shit, I wasn't paying attention. I didn't have I didn't have a green light, so I shouldn't not have been going across the street. But so obviously, it's a major fault on me. It's more of my fault than it would be the driver, because I did something I wasn't supposed to do, which was to drive in the street. Just because I can run across the street during a red light doesn't mean I'm supposed to. See the difference? Just like a woman can choose to have sex with a guy, doesn't mean you're supposed to. Because we all know 3 things can happen from having sex: pregnancy, STD, or regret. There's a 4th one, which is nothing. No regret, no children, no STDs, right? But that goes without saying, right? Point is there's 3 things that always happen. And I take this to account. That, that's why I'm saying it. So I take this to account. It's like if I feel that there's a female that I'm with that I wouldn't want to have kids with her, and I definitely don't want like some STD or something, then, or I don't want no drama, and she might bring me drama if I have sex with her, I won't have sex with her because I know there's 3 possibilities. I either get her pregnant, which is something I wouldn't want to do, right? Or I'll get an STD, something I wouldn't want to get, or regret, because she'll bring me a lot of drama, So those are the 3 things I have to consider when I'm interacting sexually, at least sexually, with a woman. I mean, I already have to deal with drama just being in just even talking to a female. I have to worry about drama. So I already have that. That already happens even without sex. It's just sex will amplify the drama, right? The STD, the babies. These are things that are possible, not guaranteed. Drama is more likely to be guaranteed, because think about it this way: everything could be fine. Her and me get along, blah blah blah. We have sex. That's cool. But she didn't like the sex. It wasn't that great for her, and she tells people, and it creates some drama and creates problems. And it's like, regret. Oh, regret. Wish I could rewind and undo that situation. As an example, right? Like that can happen. Like everything else could have been fine. It's just that one thing. The sex wasn't good. Therefore, now I have all these. I have all these issues because now I got people talking about me and stuff like that didn't need to happen. Right? It was none of their business. But now it's out there, right? Especially we have the internet. It can easily spread around the world, right? So that could be a problem. And it's like that's something I got to deal with. You know what I mean? That's something I not only deal with. What I mean is that's something I got to worry about. Like getting a girl pregnant is one thing. Getting an STD is another, right? But just the drama, just drama for it. It's like, damn, I was better off watching porn. Less drama there. Less likely that it'll be a big issue. So that's the kind of stuff we gotta deal with when it comes to relationship. But I want to be in a relationship, right? I want to still interact with women. So I understand that these are 3 issues I'm gonna have to deal with. These are the consequences of interacting with women. So I gotta take that to account. And the same goes for men, right? Women have to have this in their mind when they interact with men. These are the 3 to 4 things they gotta deal with. The consequences for these actions. But most people don't even think that. They only think that, especially when it comes to sex, the only consequence is getting it or not. That's the only consequence most people think about. Getting sex or not getting sex. That's it. or or just the decision of yes to sex or no to sex, like letting a guy have sex with you or not letting a guy have sex with you. That's all, and that's as far as most women think when it comes to sex or even interacting with a guy. Will I have sex with this guy or not? I'm not gonna have sex with him. Hold on, okay, so I won't have sex with him, but I will still hang out with him. You know, get a free meal out of it, get some free attention, this, that, and the third, and I'll be a-okay with that. But not realizing that that creates problems in itself, because that will create drama. And that's one of the many things you don't want is drama, STDs, baby, you know. Best case scenario is nothing happens, right? Best case scenario is nothing happens, which is why it's better to lean towards nothing. It's better to do nothing so that way you don't get no negative outcome than to do something and get a negative outcome. So that's why we keep using the expression do better. Specifically, do better, ladies. Ladies, you need to do better. That's because, you know, I'm old school. I'm an older guy. So to me, I'm used to the idea that women were supposed to be the better half of the species, right? They were supposed to be, you know, more mature, right? Better, you know, better at making decisions, better taskmasters. Even though guys are more logical than women, you know, women are more emotional, but you expect their emotions to be, you know, a good measuring tool, a way of gauging certain things. So you think they would always want scenarios where everybody's happy. But nowadays, most women are more concerned about just their own feelings, them being happy. Not that everybody's happy. They don't care about everybody else's feelings. They only care about their own feelings. And that become a problem. Selfishness. So selfishness is corrupting women more now than used to. And that's where this whole independence thing comes from. This whole, you know, screw the world. It's all about me. Screw the world. What makes me happy is all that matters. I don't care about the world being happy or anybody else being happy. I definitely don't care about a man being happy. That's like, yeah, that's really fucked up. That's really selfish. That's the thing. The concept of independence is just being selfish. Because real independence, women can't handle real independence. Real independence is you on an island by yourself. That's real independence. You're on an island by yourself with whatever skills you have for surviving. And I'll say 92% of women do not have the survival skills to survive on an island alone. Not even for a week or even longer. Shit, they'll struggle just on day one. Day one, they'll struggle. Unless they have a basic concept of survival. You know, some maybe they saw a movie or YouTube video or something. Maybe they watched the TV, one of those reality shows where, you know, they're on an island or something and learn some skills from there. Great. Thank God you watched those videos so you learn something. But inherently, you don't have this idea of like trying to survive with very little. Most women are like, nope, if I'm hungry, DoorDash, Uber, this, that, and the third. Buy here, buy there, go to a restaurant, find a man, to take me on a date for dinner. Like, that's how most women nowadays think when it comes to survival, right? To doing things for themselves is these outlets. Getting a man to buy you a drink or to take you on a date for a meal, or your guy friend to take you McDonald's or wherever they, you know, whatever. Or even just straight up ask a guy for money. I've been in scenarios where women just came up to me asking me for money. And they weren't like homeless women or anything. Like, these were just pretty girls that asked me for money. You know? Yes, I gave them the money, but that's besides the point. It was just the fact that that's what, you know, that's what they wanted. They wanted money and they asked for it. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. But I can't just go around by to a total stranger, especially not no dude, and be like, yo, can I get $5 so I can get something to eat? To a certain degree, that can work. It just, I definitely won't feel right about doing that at all. I would never do that. I would rather starve than to ask a grown-ass man for money, but that's just me. Yeah, pride can be a bad thing at times, but depends on the situation. I will find an alternative way to eat, but I won't beg. That's the best way to put it. It's like I will try anything I can do to not ask for help. That's the best way I could put it. Let's see. Yeah, independence. You gotta understand that there's no independent men. You only hear the independent concept when it comes to women. Independent women. Independent woman's like, yeah, but independent from what? From other women? You're different from every other woman because every other woman, you know, in order for them to have money, they need a man, and you're classifying yourself as a woman that doesn't need a man to have money. Okay, that's an interesting way of viewing it, if that's what independent woman means. You know, that you can get money yourself instead of relying on someone else to get it for you. All right, to each their own. But the way I look at this, though, however, is that you're working harder, not smarter. See, these women, they have these men bringing them money and giving them money. They're working smarter, not harder. Instead of them working 9 to 5 to get money, they got the men working 9 to 5 to get them the money. That sounds like a lot smarter tactic than me. Why go fight your own war, right? Why should you go risk your life to fight another, fight someone else? You can get someone else to fight for you, especially if the person's better at it. You know what I mean? And another thing is, what if I can get the benefit? Okay, let's say instead of me fighting Mike Tyson myself when he's in his prime, right? Get somebody else who can fight Tyson, who's willing to fight Mike Tyson for me, beat him, and then I get a percentage of that, right? I'd rather be in that scenario than be in the scenario where I had to fight Tyson and I had to beat him in order to even make a payday. I'd rather be a manager, right? I'd rather manage a fighter who can beat him, get that money, and I get my percentage from it. Right? That sounds smarter. That's working smarter, not harder. So a woman who gets a man to take care of her is smarter than a woman who takes care of herself. Right? It just goes back to the whole teamwork makes the dream work concept. Work smarter, not harder. So, teach their own. If you rather work harder to get what you want, I'm not against it. If you can get more working, if you can get more by yourself than you can with being with a man, right, teach their own. Go for it. Just like I'd rather be, start my own business. I got multiple online businesses where I generate different streams of revenue, and I'd rather have that than just having a 9 to 5, right? Makes sense. Instead of me relying on one paycheck, I'm trying to get money everywhere, right? So I understand if you as an independent woman can get more money, and if that's all you care about is money, get more money by yourself than being in a relationship, then that's fine. But how about this? If you can get more money by being in a relationship, wouldn't it be a good idea to be in a relationship? Just like if I could make more money having a job and have a side hustle, it would make more sense for me to have the job and the side hustle, because that doubles my money, right? That doubles my stream of income, because I got a job and a side hustle. And then my job could be my backup. What if all my streams of income goes away? What if all my independent stuff that I do stops bringing me money? Stops making, I stop getting the bag that way. Well, good thing I have the backup, which is the job. So being in a relationship is your backup for when your independent endeavors fall short. I mean, if you're independent because you have a job and this, that, but what if you get fired? And what if you spend a year or two unable to get a job? It would be nice to be in a relationship within that time frame. You could, if you want to call it unemployment, be in a relationship with a guy as a form of unemployment until you get your bag again, right? Get another job, career, whatever. Hey, teach them. Because when I think about the funny thing about when women talk about their careers or having a career, is like, you mean a marriage, essentially. Because that's just, a career is a long-term job, aka a long-term relationship. Think about it. A regular job is like, boyfriend, girlfriend, while a career is essentially a marriage. So women are trying to marry their jobs or, careers, I should say. Well, pretty much job, because first it starts off as a job, and then y'all upgrade to a career, which is essentially a marriage. Just like being somebody's girlfriend, and then upgrading to marriage, being somebody's wife. It's the same thing, but women nowadays don't look at it that way. So, they don't realize that marriage, or being a girlfriend, is like having a job, right? And being a wife is like having a career. They don't see it that way. They see it the opposite. It's weird that they would be like, oh, that's slavery. Really? Slavery, you don't get paid being a slave, right? If you think about the old-fashioned slavery, doesn't pay. But being a wife does pay. There's financial benefits to being a wife. There's financial benefits to being a girlfriend. It's when there is no financial benefits, then yeah, I understand you'll classify that as slavery if there's no money there. If there's no way for you to benefit financially, then yes, it's slavery, right? But if you're benefiting financially from the arrangement, the relationship, then it's a job. I mean, that's why I made the video. That's why I got the podcast of relationships are jobs, because it is. You want the benefits of being in that relationship, aka job, then you put in work. You do the work and you get the rewards. If you don't put in the work, don't be surprised you get no rewards. Can't go to work, sit on your ass all day, not work, and still expect to get a paycheck. Doesn't work that way. And it definitely shouldn't work that way, because that's a waste of money for the company. Just like that'd be a waste of money for the man you're in a relationship with if you just expect to just keep paying, keep spending the paycheck he gives you, but never work for it, never earn the paycheck. It's like, nah. But then it becomes less of a job, more of an ATM, right? No man wants to be an ATM. So again, marriage does not take away your independence. It just causes you to put it on hold and save it for a rainy day. And because independence to me is, like when it comes to the idea of relationships or marriage, it's like being unemployed. Being unemployed. That's how I look at women, independent women. It's like, yeah, you're unemployed. You don't want this job, aka being my girlfriend. You don't want this career, aka being my wife. You want to be unemployed, aka independent, single. All right, go do you. I'm not against it if that's what you want. What I am against is you bothering me, wanting to be in a relationship with me, but you want to be independent. It's like, well, you can't have both. You can't be independent and be with me. You have to choose one or the other. You can't be unemployed and still be employed, right? You can't have a job and not have a job, right? That don't make no sense. That's a contradiction. You definitely can't have a job, not do the job, and still expect a paycheck. It doesn't work that way. And the same goes for relationships and marriages. It's a job. You gotta put in the work. If you want a marriage to be awesome, you gotta make sure it's awesome. It's not gonna be awesome by magic. You're not entitled to a marriage to be awesome without effort. You gotta make sure it's awesome. And 90% of the time marriages are not awesome. It's because of the woman. We've seen it time and time again. This is not an opinion or personal truth, as some people will say. Like, no, this is an observation. This is something I've seen time and time again from other people dealing with this situation, dealing with the scenario that the relationship didn't work, and it was largely because of the woman. And again, these were the relationships that were commonly seen that didn't work because of the woman, yes. But it doesn't mean it doesn't, relationships don't work because of the man. There are relationships that don't work because of man, but it's the fact that you see it more often that women tend to be the ones who leave the relationships. They're the ones who end the relationships. They're the ones who get tired of the relationships. They're the ones who want a better relationship more often than not. Guys are just happy just having a relationship. And if the relationship started good, but then started going downhill, they'll still keep it because men rather have something than nothing. But women are the ones who rather have nothing or something. Like, they rather have nothing if they can't get what they want. Which is why they always will look for an upgrade whenever they get a chance. They're always looking for the better. Now they'll first try to make the guy they're with better, or at least request that the guy gets better, does more. And if she doesn't get the better, the more from that guy, then she'll try to find somebody else who already is doing better, who does got better, and then try to go that route. Because women are consumers. That's the thing. They're women are takers more than they are givers. Men are more givers than they are takers. That's just how it's always been. That's always been the symbiotic relationship. Men give, women take, and we're fine for that for thousands of years. But now women want to change that dynamic and try to act like that doesn't apply no more. It's like, no, it still applies. Women still take, but they don't want to just take from us. They want to take from others, aka having a career, yet also having a boyfriend, yet still expecting their boyfriend or husband to pay 100% of everything, while they still get in the bag. It's like, wait, what's the point of you having a career and a job and making money if you're still just going to spend my money? It'd be different if you're spending only your money, never spend none of my money. Then that's different, because then it's like, okay, cool. Whenever you want something, you're using your money. That's fine. It's better than you using my money, right? Because if you're using my money, but you still have your own money, then doesn't that look greedy? That looks pretty greedy to me. You got your own money, but you still want to spend my money. You know what I mean? If you take the gender out of it, you take the whole boyfriend-girlfriend thing out of it, and just make it with just two guys that are friends, right? And they go somewhere. It's like, oh, cool, man. This candy store is awesome. We got a lot of candy and stuff like that. This, I'm gonna go get me like $20 worth of candy. And then your friend is like, yeah, man, I want $20 worth of candy too. You got me, right? You paid for this? It's like, you just got paid today. You got a paycheck. You got this. You could afford $20 in candy. Yeah, but I don't want to spend my money. You got me though, right? And that'll sound weird. It's like, I could look out and do it and do this for you, but now I'm spending 40 when I only plan to spend 20. Now I got to spend 40, and you still got your money. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make that, like, that doesn't sound right. That sounds like some greedy shit. You can afford. It'd be different if he was broke, didn't have money, and I wanted to look out and be like, I got you. I'll get you $20 worth of candy, but he can afford. The other person can afford the candy. They can buy their own $20 worth of candy. So that's just be wrong to try to take advantage. And that's the thing. It's just taking advantage there. If you make your own money, ladies, great. Just make sure you spend your money for all the random things that the man will take care of your needs. If you need something, we'll make sure you get it. But the stuff you want, well, it's going to be on your dime unless you are relying on his income. Then it's different. But if you got your own money, you better spend your money on your wants. He'll take care of your needs, but you got to take care of your wants, because your wants are going to be random anyway. You're going to regret buying. You're going to regret a lot of those wants anyway. You're going to be like, oh, I don't want this no more. These shoes were nice last week, but they're not good this week. Oh, cool. Good thing you spent $300 on those shoes instead of me, because that's a waste of money if you only wore it one time last week and now you don't want them. I would be unhappy with that situation, because that's just a waste of money that could have gone to food, which is very important. Now, I consider the future. I look to the future. If I'm spending money now on something, it better last until the day I die, or until whatever I purchase dies. But I'm not gonna buy $300 pair of shoes and then just not wear it until it no longer is wearable, right? If I spend $300 on shoes, I'm going to wear it every day until it falls apart. But you get the idea.